third reason why Joshua needs to mature early is because his father is a drunk and scared, and he's too scared to go out and get food for Joshua and buy the things that are necessary, like a jacket for him for the winter. Last but not least is expectation. As Shirley Ann Grau says in the story, boys of the age of Joshua and his friend Henry, which is about 11, are expected to be not fully independent, but for the most part independent, and to be able to survive on their own. And their family doesn't have to worry about them, and they don't worry about their family. Okay. How does Joshua become braver and take on more responsibilities? He encounters nature. The story is set during the time of the hurricanes, and when the weather was pretty, it rained all the time between October and March, and there were hurricanes, bad weather, lightning, so Joshua has to learn how to encounter those types of situations whenever he goes out, like for instance to the swamp, and he has to be prepared to encounter, like when he's in his pirogue, if there's a storm and the boat tips over. So he just has to grow up and become familiar with the way of life, and runs his father's trot lines. His father is too drunk to go out and run the trot lines, so he cannot provide supper for his mom and him. So in order to eat, Joshua has to do this himself. So what he does is he goes out in the pirogue to the swamp, and he also recalls several swamp stories that were told to him whenever he was younger, and these consisted of like, oh, you know, death occurs in the swamp and bad things happen. Well, Joshua and Henry run the lines and decide that it is time for them to become brave and stop being so scared of everything. And he paddles further out toward the Gulf. Henry asks Joshua to turn around, but Joshua, for some reason, doesn't want to admit that he's scared, so he's trying to overcome that, and he paddles for about an hour and a half towards the Gulf. And he also looks for birds to shoot, maybe to kill for his family, but he doesn't ever turn around because he claims there's no point. This shows that he's like becoming more confident. He finds a dead body and retrieves a coat. Like we said earlier, he doesn't have a coat for winter because his dad never bought him one. Whenever he is paddling out towards the Gulf, he finds a dead body, him and Henry, and they see that the dead body has a coat, and Joshua actually goes up to the dead body and takes the coat off of it. Whenever Joshua and Henry get home, Joshua actually puts the fish over one shoulder and the coat over the other and walks into the house. And this kind of shows that he has become more brave. Throughout the story, he's not as much as the coward. And he feels confident and proud of himself for actually doing something that meant something, like providing for his family and getting a coat for himself and being independent. Okay.